Today, we have two very interesting stories, including one about a wife who cheated on her husband and tried to gaslight him. Sit back, relax and enjoy. First story. Am I the idiot laughing at my girlfriend's intervention to get me to stop smoking weed? I, 26M, smoke weed almost every day. But I've only spent $150 on weed in the last year. I smoke 1 or 2 tiny bowls in the evenings, but only after I'm done with work, gym, and chores/errands for the day. I sometimes take edibles on weekends. I do it because I like being high, but also because I lift weights plus run 5 days a week, and need to eat at least 4,000 calories/day to maintain my weight. Weed gives me the appetite to eat clean, instead of eating less filling junk. My girlfriend, 25F, doesn't like that I use weed and has asked that I quit a few times. She's worried because it's unhealthy and that it might impact my career. But I have a great job that pays really well and I'm good at it despite my weed habits. I also take my health very seriously. Weed and occasional binge drinking are my only vices, but I work out often, eat super healthy, drink tons of water, sleep at least 7 hours a night, and never get sick. My girlfriend has a key to my place and stays with me the majority of the week because she has housemates. Yesterday I got home from the gym to find her and 2 of her friends, Alice and Tina, sitting at my dining table with my weed and bong. Alice and Tina start into a spiel about my problem, while my girlfriend sits quietly looking sad. It was the same stuff about how it's bad for me, bad for my career. One of our mutual friends who also smokes a lot was laid off earlier this week, etc. I'm chuckling through the whole thing. Once they were done, I tried to explain that my career and health are both doing well. At that point, Alice says, "Sorry, but this has to happen, name," and gets up to throw my bong in the trash. At this point, I get mad and snatch my bong from Alice. I tell them I'm not going to let myself get lectured about my problem by 3 women who binge drink at least once a week. Especially not by someone like Alice who does ket or coke whenever she drinks and has an actual substance problem. And my girlfriend who gets sick every other week is not a health authority. At this point, Tina tells me, "Keep ruining your life, you effing addict," and they get up to leave as my girlfriend is crying. I asked my girlfriend weed was really the problem, but she just kept crying. Before they left, I told my girlfriend that when she was ready to talk she can reach out, and she nodded. My girlfriend just texted me asking if she could come over and talk. I haven't responded yet. Am I the idiot for how I handled this situation? The top replies, "You have an intervention for someone when they're clearly destroying their lives and can't see it. You don't have an intervention for someone when they have a habit you don't like but are otherwise doing fine in life. Your girlfriend and her friends were way out of line. Not the idiot." Also, "Keep ruining your life, you effing addict," is not really a great thing to say to an addict during an intervention lol. The second replies, "Not the idiot. And what the hell made your girlfriend think it was okay to invite those 2 over and let them try and throw your stuff out in your house? Listen, I don't like weed. I think it smells awful, and I think that while I can have benefits, there are also lots of downsides that get overlooked. But you don't sound like you're overdoing it. You sound like you have a handle on things, and as you said, you don't even seem to use it that much. If your girlfriend hates it that much and it's such a deal breaker, then your relationship might be over, but that doesn't give her the right to invite these girls over to judge you and trash your personal property. Especially if they do, as you say, binge drink and do cocaine, which is so much worse." Second story. My wife told me she cheated on me. Male 35F35. We've been married for 12 years, together for 17. In the first year of our relationship and for a long time, we had a really good sex life. My wife, then she was my girlfriend, at the time had a date and we both went out with her friends. We were having a really good night, but I had to leave earlier than them because I had to work the next morning. I checked in with my girlfriend to make sure she will be okay, and she was, because she was with her friends, and went home. I came around next day to see her and she hugs me crying and saying she was attacked and raped. I question her and she tells me she was attacked walking to her car in the dark and the attacker runs off once he is done and she couldn't tell who it was. I comfort her and do everything a good boyfriend would do at the time and question her friends who were with her and try to help the best I can. Over the years I sympathize and check in on her whenever the subject comes up and make sure she's okay. 12 years of marriage and 3 children later, we get talking late one night and I ask her if she remembers anything else that happened at the time that may have led up to it and she tells me that there isn't anything that she could remember but will try to and let me know if she does. Couple nights later we are sitting on the lounge and she is quieter than usual. I ask, "You've remembered something, haven't you?" She starts crying and tells me that night her friends got her really drunk and she went home with a guy who worked in a shop close to hers and they messed all night and she walked to a friend's house after. When she saw me the next day she panicked and came up with the rape story and had blocked the night out of her mind and made herself believe the story. I asked if that was the only time and she swears it is and that is why she never gets drunk anymore. I tell her that I forgive her because all this time she has been an amazing wife and mother. Ever since she told me months ago it has dug in my mind and don't know what to feel. I feel myself being less attracted to her and sex isn't the same. I already knew she had a past before we dated but it's different on this. I don't know if I should bring it up again because it was yesterday's issue not today or tomorrow's, or what I want out of talking about it. I don't want to leave, our marriage is still really good but there is still a lot of anger there. The top replies, resentment and distrust don't disappear. It just takes a back seat if you choose to stay. Either learn to cope with those feelings and work on how to accept them and live with them, or leave. Love can overpower resentment and distrust but it will be a tortuous life and I don't wish that on anyone. Good luck. Edit. Also to add, I don't think she just remembered. I think the guilt caught up to her and she thinks you suspect it. Suppressed memories like that are so effing rare and typically related to real trauma. Your wife would need serious psychotherapy here. The second reply. There's 2 issues here. The first is that she cheated. But the second is that she lied to you between that night and right now and that's messed up. The fact she lied that night and lied a week ago means she's the exact same deceitful partner she was that night. By being okay with it you're telling her that cheating is totally fine as long as there is sufficient time between when it happened and when she decides to come clean about it. So well done positively reinforcing deception. Who knows? She may have sucked a cock 4 years ago that you'll learn about in another 8 and as long as she was okay with you during that time it's okay by you. I have the perfect relationship right now and if my partner had done this in our first week of being a couple I'd be out the door regardless of how much time had passed. Because here's the truth of it. She cheated. She falsely accused a fictitious person of rape. She lied to you. She knew she had cheated on you when you got married and never said anything. She knew she had cheated on you when you had your first kid and never said anything. She knew she had cheated on you when you had your second kid and never said anything. She knew she had cheated on you when you had your third kid and never said anything. After several more years and when you were appropriately locked in enough to this relationship, she finally decided for the first time in over a decade to stop lying to you. When she saw me the next day she panicked and came up with the rape story. This right here is why it's not a repressed memory, it was a calculated and crafted narrative made in a panic to deceive you and then she robbed you of the choice of how to respond to her actions for 12 years. Damn right I'd be pissed. Edit. Just to add some context from the other side of it. Years and years ago when I was younger I stupidly decided to cheat on my ex-girlfriend. Our relationship was terrible, we had completely fallen out of love and we both knew that within a few short months it would be over when I decided to do it one stupid drunken night. It ruined me. When I woke up the next day I couldn't go to work, I couldn't do anything, I had panic attacks, I vomited constantly, I was crying. I had to call my sister because I just couldn't be left with my own thoughts about what I did. I can't describe the feeling of guilt but it was so heavy that I just couldn't cope. We broke up a week later. I've never cheated or even thought of cheating since. Despite being in a terrible relationship, which is no excuse, it messed me up beyond repair to have knowingly destroyed that bond in a relationship. People fork up all the time, I get that. But when people cheat and then make up lies and just go about their life. Something about that, especially after my experience, doesn't sit right with me. I think honest people with honest emotions cramp to the core when they do something dishonest. It shakes the foundations of who they are as a person. People who cheat and then deceive everyone around them about it and go on living normal lives are nothing short of sociopaths in my eyes.